Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. I like this guy, man. His name's Joe Rogan, and he's been on TV since like the 90s. He's a comedian. He's got a cool podcast. I watch his stuff. I like Eddie Bravo a lot. I think Eddie kind of oversteps on the conspiracy stuff every once in a while, but it's a fun conversation, man. How can you not like Eddie Bravo? I don't know what happened with him and Joe Rogan, but Eddie Bravo doesn't go on the show anymore. And Joe Rogan has changed, man. I don't know if you've picked up on this, if you watched the Joe Rogan experience, but Joe has changed. Remember when Joe used to be all about the moon landing and conspiracy nut stuff? For the first 6, 7, 800 episodes he had of his podcast, it was all conspiracy. And now if you bring it up, he's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't going to make one of these videos because I like Joe Rogan, man. I look up to him. I don't want to see him get removed from the UFC announcing. I don't like Dominic Cruz's announcing. I know some of you don't know anything about MMA, okay, but I think Dominic Cruz, it's like having Dominic Cruz announce the UFC is like taking a professor of economics to come teach you about how to balance a checkbook. I don't care that someone, took a half a step to the left and swung with their right and it set up a takedown or whatever. I mean, if I want to watch that stuff, I'll go watch some of my friends' YouTube channels that break that stuff down in analysis. I'm trying to have a good time when I watch the UFC. So I don't like Dominic Cruz. I think Joe has kind of been... Joe's just a puss now. That's where Joe's at. I listen to his... It's not just the podcast, is what I'm trying to say. Joe's a puss. Joe, something has happened to him, and he's changed. And I don't know if someone went and talked to him and said, hey, we need you to push transgenderism, Joe. Hey, Joe, we need you to stick up for gay people on your podcast, Joe. Hey, Joe, here's an idea. Have Macaulay Culkin come on your show, and then don't ask him about anything important. Could you do that for us, Joe, Mr. Rogan? Could you have Macaulay Culkin come on your show and talk to him for 3 hours about absolutely nothing that people are concerned about with Macaulay Culkin? What? You have Macaulay Culkin sitting at a table on the other side of you in a locked room with a microphone in front of him. You're telling me you can't think of anything to ask him, Joe? Joe Rogan can't think of anything pertinent to ask Macaulay Culkin. Here's the other thing. Why is Macaulay Culkin on the Joe Rogan Experience? Nobody has a clue who he is. Nobody cares. Literally, this is the first time I've ever heard Macaulay Culkin's voice as an adult. And he sounds like he should be the glasses fit him. It sounds like he should be reading some book, at a college. He's a smart guy, Macaulay Culkin. Am I saying that right? He's a smart dude. I mean, he comes across smart. He's also fucked up, man. This dude is... there's something going on in McCulkin's world that people don't know about. And Joe took no... He didn't even try. Okay, Joe didn't even ask him. It was like, here, Macaulay, here's a softball. Blah. Oh, you swing and a miss. Here, let me throw you another softball, Culkin. Oh, you missed that one too. Okay, 3 strikes, you're out. This is underhanded softball. You got to hit one of them, Macaulay, Mr. Culkin. You know what I would have asked him? I'd say, hey, Macaulay Culkin, why did you have a rock band based on pizza? Because that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of in my life. Why would you make a rock band about pizza, Macaulay Culkin? That seems weird, especially since we're talking about Pizzagate stuff. Now, I don't want to rag too hard on Joe, but Joe is not one of us anymore. And it pains me to say that because I like Joe and I want him on our team. Team Truth, or at least Team Ask Reasonable Questions About the World Around You. And Joe's like... Joe reminds me of somebody who has seen behind the curtain, doesn't like what he saw, but isn't going to say anything about it. And he knows that whatever's behind the curtain is going to be there, whether or not he does his podcast or not, whether or not he announces on UFC or not, whether or not Joe Rogan's wife is Jewish or not, and Joe Rogan's 3 daughters have the right of return to Israel. I think Joe is just cool with the world, is what I'm trying to get to. I think he knows that this shit's real. He knows that Macaulay Culkin's involved in Pizzagate and all kinds of weird stuff. But he spends 3 hours trying to humanize him. He's like, "Yeah, you're just a cool guy, man. Let's just talk. I know you're cool, you know." So this is where I'm at with Joe Rogan. I don't like him anymore, and it hurts my feelings to say it. But I've been watching his podcast now for years, and I'm just watching him slide off of this cliff. Where if he's gonna sit there and giggle with Macaulay Culkin and not ask him, why do you have a rock band based on Pizzagate? Why do you have a new blog, Macaulay Culkin? Why do you have a new blog based on bunny ears, based on Follow the White Rabbit? Oh, you don't know about that yet. Oh, here, let me show you some stuff. Before I get too far in that, though, I haven't covered this very, very in depth yet. This is the YouTube search rankings for QAnon. Now, what I think they did was they just put out mainstream blue checkbox QAnon videos. And that's all they'll do. You know, I think it might have been a one-time thing, a big media blast to tell everybody about QAnon. Now we're going to hear Jack, pro-analyst or whatever his name is, there's a joke here or something. Prosabiak, is that how you say his last name? Jack Prosabiak. OANN. Like, these are supposed to be truth people. Rebel media, you know? These are all truth, quote-unquote, people. And they're not part of this anymore. They're all turning on Q. And I don't see these mainstream media channels putting out a great deal of content anymore, and they're not getting that many views. I mean, I have basic QAnon videos that have way more views than this. Praying Medic, every video Praying Medic makes has 100,000 views on it. So nobody cares. Nobody wants to consume this content. And I pointed this out because I typed in literally the title of this video right here, WTF Is QAnon. And the Young Turks are so bad at YouTube, they can't even get their exactly titled blue checkbox based Jeffrey Katzenberg money-backed content to the top of this list. And I find that hilarious. They suck. Dude, nobody watched the Young Turks. You know why this video's got 250,000 views? Is because it's about QAnon. It's not because the Young Turks did it. You know? Anytime they talk about us, they get big views. And anytime they don't, okay, they get nothing. So I hate these people. I'm only bringing this up because they talk about Macaulay Culkin in this video. So, I mean, remember, they called their show The Young Turks. They are happy to endorse the Armenian genocide. The Armenian genocide done by the Young Turks. That's why they called their channel The Young Turks. Supposedly, this chick right here is Armenian. And he might be too. I know he's not white. Cenk Uygur, that sounds Armenian, I guess. These two people are Armenian and they're all good with it. They literally named their channel after the Armenian genocide. And in this video, he goes on and on. Neon Revolt has covered this video. I made a short cut up of them saying crazy stuff. I put it in a music video. You can check that out. I'll put it in the description or the comment if you want to see it. But they bring up Macaulay Culkin. And this is where I can't get over this stuff. Like, you remember how I made that Tom Hanks video that went viral, and then we were on the TV, you know? And they kept saying, oh, well, Tom Hanks is somehow part of QAnon. And I'm like, no, it's totally separate. Well, in this video from the Young Turks, they talk about Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, and Macaulay Culkin. And of course they go, oh no, it's not real, it's not real. But the fact that they bring up these three names, for me, I'm like, okay, well those are the three people we need to focus on. You know, if the entire mainstream media is going to go in a meltdown mode over the fact that somebody has a grievance or is accusing Tom Hanks of something, then that's where we need to focus our attention, is on Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, and Macaulay Culkin. That's what they're all talking about. In every one of these conversations about QAnon, they never talk about QAnon. They talk about the Hollywood celebrities that are brought into this conversation. So if you've got a YouTube channel, if you're looking to do the most damage, right? Even if you got a small channel, the most damage that you could do right now is to talk about Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, or Macaulay Culkin. And I think that's why, so Macaulay Culkin, how many times have you ever heard his name in the media? Never. I haven't heard his name since I was a kid. He's a weirdo, right? The internet knows about him kinda because of the pizza-based rock band and Mila Kunis or whatever her name is, that Jew girl. It's in Jupiter Rising. But nobody's talking about Macaulay Culkin. So the fact that the Young Turks is running protection for a nobody named Macaulay Culkin, okay? And then you got Joe Rogan bringing Macaulay Culkin onto his show that very week. You get what I'm saying here? Are you starting to put two and two together? There are weak links in this conversation, and it centers around celebrities. It doesn't center around Devin Nunes or True Pundit or anybody involved in politics. The truly damaging content that we're talking about is not anti-Semitic. It has nothing to do with global politics, Las Vegas, Saudi Arabia, nothing. The most damaging stuff in our conversation right now talks about this guy right here. And Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg and possibly Meryl Streep, although we have not got to her yet. So I'm pointing this out to you, man. You want to do some damage? These are the three people that you need to talk about. These are the names. You see them? Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, and Macaulay Culkin. Culkin. These are the people that we need to talk about. Now we're in a media blitz right now. Katzenberg left Disney. He rounded up $2 billion in investments from everywhere in Hollywood, all the major places, Sony, MGM, right? And then he went and now he paid $20 million to the Young Turks to help buy them. And what they're going to do is they're going to make YouTube content because they realize that the TV's dead and the internet's the future. So they're trying to figure out how they can get to people in short segments. So I believe that this is what this is for. This is bunnyears.com. This is Macaulay Culkin's new private project. Now, I don't want to waste a lot of time on here. There's some weird stuff. So the color of the month is asphyxiation, right? Let's go look at their shop. Bunny ears, lots of bunny ears. All cool bunny ears. Let's look at T-shirts. Wait, what? What's that? BaphoBunny T-shirt? Oh, Macaulay. Mr. Culkin, what are you pushing on your show there? Why would you want people to wear this type of shirt? Making the devil horns, bruh. Making the devil horns. Selling the T-shirts. You can check it out here, man. This is the trailer for this podcast. I mean, they tried to create a podcast around this guy. It's only been up for a few months. It's pretty much failing at this point. It should be 10 times as big for a Hollywood person like this. I mean, look what he's doing. What else? They had him on the Ellen show lately. I caught this. So, basically they pushed this thing. Like, they reintroduced Macaulay Culkin to the world in the last 4 months, and that's what you're seeing. That's why he was on the Joe Rogan podcast experience. Okay, that's why he was on the Ellen show, and the project is to push this thing. That's what his project is up to. This is the whole thing. This is how they're gonna bring it back. I don't know what else to say. I mean, follow the white rabbit. There it is. This guy was involved in. Okay, we got bunny ears. He had a pizza-related rock band, literally called the Pizza Underground. I mean, why, man? People don't find pizza to be funny, with pizza-themed songs, names, and lyrics. I don't even want to come back through all the Pizzagate stuff. We had the Miley Cyrus dressing up like a piece of pizza, and I get to a point with these conversations where I realize it's like, am I the only one that's looking at this stuff? I know that you watch my videos, but like, there's only a couple people that are talking about this, and no one asks any questions. This is the crazy part. No one over here on Joe Rogan's podcast is asking, why are you talking to Macaulay Culkin? Why now? Why is he making a comeback? What about his rock band? What was that about? Why has he got bunny ears? Why is Follow the White Rabbit? Joe Rogan's Experience podcast was a conspiracy show. Now they have a number one conspiracy target, and he doesn't want to ask a question. It's Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.